Time for more of today's top stories now, and Tonga's government says Saturday's volcanic eruption and tsunami has caused an unprecedented disaster. As the death toll rises to 3, the full extent of the damage is becoming clear.
All houses were destroyed on Mango Island, and we have to count exactly how many that is and exactly what the population was that's been displaced and evacuated. And only 2 houses remain on Fonuifa Island.
More humanitarian aid is on the way, but thick ash covering Tonga's main airport runway is preventing planes from landing. Relief operations will be distanced to avoid a COVID outbreak in the island nation. Premier Daniel Andrews has apologised to thousands of Victorian women who've been unable to access IVF treatment because of a ban on non-urgent elective surgery. It follows an emotional plea by Melbourne woman Melanie Swikenick for treatments to restart because she's running out of time to remain eligible.
We're working as hard as we can to get day procedures back up and running. I apologise for these services having to be paused.
I'm very thankful that it's on their agenda now, but we need a date. Enough's enough.
This summer's limited overs series between Australia and New Zealand has been postponed indefinitely. The 10-day series included 3 one-dayers and a T20 match, but the Black Caps haven't been exempted from 10 days quarantine when they go home, so they've decided such a short trip just wasn't worth it. Well, Melbourne did it back in 2006. Now the city could end up hosting the 2026 Commonwealth Games because of a lack of interest from other Commonwealth nations. Word is Victoria's been approached by the Games Federation to consider the idea. Please. Former Aussie swimming great Kieran Perkins, he's all for it.
I think whenever you look at any of the Australian team's success, it's always just that little bit better when you're on home turf.
It'll be a different moment. They won't say the winner is, they'll say, and nobody else wanted it. So Melbourne. Victorian opposition leader Matthew Guy, he's keen on the idea of Melbourne hosting the Com Games, but for more personal reasons.
And use the focus to look at kids in sport, to get them off devices.
Okay.
If we can focus this on particularly kids in sport and getting them off devices, let me tell you, as a father, that's the best thing we can do. Get our kids off devices.
I can't wait till those kids are streaming the Com Games live on their iPads.
And are we just imagining some of the side effects from the vaccine? US researchers believe it's not the actual vaccine that causes fatigue, arm pain or headaches, but the nocebo effect. They found more than 2/3 of common symptoms after the first dose and just over 50% after the second wave were effectively psychosomatic. Seems because we're aware there might be side effects, we're hypervigilant for them.
Guys, I'm fascinated. No, you don't.
My arm hurt. I know it hurt.
Or did it?
It did. Yes. I'm telling you.
Or did it?
I'm in my body and it hurt. It wasn't up here.
I'm fascinated by this because, you know, they discovered the placebo effect when they ran out of morphine on the battlefield, right? And so they started injecting soldiers with water and saying it was morphine, and they noticed there was pain relief. They did a similar thing to discover the nocebo effect. They discovered it by saying they were giving you essentially a sugar tablet in like a placebo test, but actually they were giving you a very powerful painkiller and it wouldn't work.
Oh, look,
that's
fascinating.
I love it because they reckon this gets a bit more hippie on it, but they reckon this is the worry with, like, you know how people will say rhetoric around kids these days are useless, the world's going to the dogs, like all the, you know, everything sucks. They reckon if we think that enough, you kind of will it into existence.
Yeah, I mean, like when I had my babies, for example, I knew the difference between when I had the painkillers and when I didn't. Like, how does it work all the time? Or just some of the time?
I'm not good on the childbirth stuff.
How did you find it, Lisa?
Childbirth hurts, full stop, exclamation mark, end of sentence.
Heatwave conditions in Perth, where temperatures are expected to sit around 40 degrees until at least Saturday. After 40.8 degrees yesterday, the mercury hit 41.3 today. The last time Perth had 5 days over 39 was 1965. Just last Thursday, WA recorded its hottest day on record, 50.7 degrees in Onslow. British PM Boris Johnson is fighting for his political life. He's been forced to deny allegations he lied to Parliament about a lockdown party at Number 10. As the knives are sharpened, Bojo has apologised, but has stuck to the line that he believed it was a work event.
Nobody said to me, this is an event that is against the rules, that is in breach of what we're asking everybody else to do, should not go ahead.
Lisa, you pointed out something today on Twitter, and I still need to understand what is happening with his tie.
He's tucked it in.
Yes.
It's almost like he's tucked everything away because he's so embarrassed about what happened.
I feel like Bojo. I reckon he's such a slob, he's worried he's going to dip it in his sandwich or something, you know? Like he's one of those blokes that'd eat a soup or a meal and his tie'd go in it.
I think you're right, Corby. It's to stop him eating his tie. Because I don't think they're worried that if he dips it in his soup, it'll ruin his tie. If he dips it in his soup, he'll eat his tie.
Yeah, that's probably true.
That's what the mask is for as well.